Hi there, guys, girls, those undecided, those in between. This is the Beauty Moron checking in after a long hiatus. I hope that everyone is doing fantastic and have been doing fantastic since the last time I did a video. You know, there have been a lot of things going on. First and foremost, and the biggest, I did graduate. So I am done with school. Hey. So that is kind of the biggest thing that was going on, and also why. You know, I had some issues with getting some videos up and running, but it is over. I am done. Yeah! So I am back, hopefully on a more regular basis now. So thank you so much for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get it out of the way. For those of you who have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please do so if you feel like it. If you see this video, you see some other videos, and you're like, yes, I want more of that, hit the subscribe button down here, one of these, whatever. You'll see it, it's red, it's shiny, it's whatever. Yeah, go ahead and hit that. Thank you very much. All right, so for today's video, I wanted to do a review, very quick review of the Colourpop foundation. I'm a big Colourpop fan ever since, you know, they started out doing, you know, mostly like lip glosses and lipsticks and things like that. You know, totally jumped on the concealer train when that came out. I actually love the No Filter concealer. It's one of my favorite concealers, not just for concealing under the eye, but also doing it for a base for eyeshadows and things like that. So when I heard that they were doing the No Filter foundation, I was very excited, you know, and you know, for such a good price. I think it's $12 for like about an ounce or so, which, you know, an ounce doesn't seem like that much here, but I mean, that's still plenty, I think, especially for that price. As you can see, yes, I definitely already have them come, and I have already tried them on. So I do have my verdict already in place, but I thought I'd go ahead and just, you know, try it on just so you guys can kind of see how it looks on my skin and see if you agree or disagree with how I'm feeling about the foundations. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. So, like I said, the Colourpop No Filter foundations, I think they come in 40 different colors, you know, so really expanded on the shade range. You know, I think that Fenty has done a really good job of, you know, kind of bringing it to the forefront of a lot of these other makeup companies, that there are a range of different skin tones out there, all that are looking to buy foundation. So thank you so much, Fenty. So again, the Colourpop foundation looks like this. Comes in a small bottle. It's 0.85 fluid ounces, 25 milliliters, so not quite an ounce, and I believe it does retail for $12. Right now, I think you can only buy these on the Colourpop website. I do not think that these are in Ulta or any other stores that happen to sell Colourpop. Of course, that's always kind of to me. With foundations, I'm very big about having to swatch them before I buy them, because it's really hard to judge the color in the tube on a website, on your computer screen, versus being able to kind of like actually put it on your face and try it out. So, you know, that's always kind of a toss-up. So hopefully, if it has not already, by the time this video comes out, hopefully they will be bringing the foundations to stores for people to test them out before they buy. Alrighty, so I actually ended up buying 2 foundations just because I was trying to test and see which ones would work better. So I ended up getting, let's see, this is medium dark 135, and this is medium dark 120, which to me is, they're similar. I think this one here, the 120, has a little bit more golden in it than this one does here. I got both of those because, again, I was trying to color match to the best of my abilities based on the, I don't know if you guys can see it here on my phone, but Colourpop did upload kind of a match chart to go by to give you guys a better idea of, like, if you're gonna get a Colourpop foundation, this is the one that you want to get. I actually do have a Fenty foundation as well. I did my very first YouTube video actually was reviewing the Fenty foundation, how far we've come. And this one is actually a 340. So I ended up, the thing with the 340 is it's a little too dark for me. I was matched in Sephora, and as maybe some others know, maybe some others on the darker end of the skin spectrum, matching in Sephora sometimes does not always work the way it should. So I've always found this one to be a little too dark for me. It makes my skin look a little bit too tan. Even for my summer foundation, I've always found it to be a little, you know, not quite a perfect match. So I kind of went up a little bit when I was matching for my Colourpop. So I tried to get them, again, just the ones that said that were close to 340, I tried to get ones that were closer to like 330. Oh wait, is this 340? Might actually be 350, just kidding. So I tried to get one that was closer to maybe like 330 or 320, something like that, just to kind of counterbalance what I thought was like the too tanness of the Fenty. And I also have here my CoverGirl True Blend Liquid Makeup Foundation. I randomly bought this in Target, and I have to say this has been my favorite foundation so far. This has been like I think the first foundation in a very, very long time that has actually been like a perfect match for my skin tone. This is D1 in creamy beige. Just gonna swatch all 4 of these here just so you guys can kind of see the color difference, and then I'll go ahead and try on the Colourpop. I may try and do, since I have the 2, one on this side, one on that side, also will applicate them in 2 different ways. Again, I've tried all of this already, so I already have a verdict, but I just want to let you guys see it, okay? So let's go ahead and do some swatches. Okay, so first I'll go ahead and swatch my CoverGirl Creamy Beige, and let's go ahead and do that here. So this is the Creamy Beige here. And of course, you know, swatching it on my hand is not the same as putting it on my face, but, you know, just to give you guys kind of an idea of what the color looks like. So that is that one. Okay, and then next we'll go ahead and swatch the Fenty in, and I think I was saying 340, but I think this is a 350. So we're gonna go ahead and hit Fenty here. So as you can see, it's a really big difference between the 2. Although Fenty usually when it dries down, it doesn't dry this orange on my skin. It actually ends up drying a little bit lighter. So I guess that's a good thing. I know people have talked about it oxidizing. I haven't really seen it oxidize on my skin like that, but you know. So as you can see, there's like a huge difference between these 2 here. Again, I don't know what the girl at Sephora was thinking. I've been making it work, but you know, whatever. All right, and then now we're gonna go ahead and swatch the 2 Colourpops. So this one is going to be the medium dark 120 here. I've also found that the Colourpop ones are very runny, very, very liquidy. Okay. So definitely not as orange as the Fenty here, but still not like this kind of beige. There's definitely golden undertones in this one. I didn't realize how serious the undertones were, because I think this is the one that, no, I think it might be the 135 that was supposed to be neutral with golden undertones. This one seems to be like straight golden here. Let me go back and double check though. So that one was the 120. So let me see. So 120. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the 120. So 120 is neutral foundation for golden undertones for medium dark skin. So that's that one. And then the 135 is also neutral foundation with golden undertones. So these are both supposed to be neutral with golden undertones. So let's do this one here. And again, this is the 135. Okay, so that's those. So a little bit of a difference. I think that the 135 definitely has more gold in there than the 120. The 120 definitely I think is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more beige than this one here, but so you can see the range. So clearly, either I definitely suck at trying to match, or, you know, again, it's just that, you know, their match chart just, you know, didn't really work well for me. Like I kind of tried to go off of what I thought was going to work and it didn't, which again speaks to having foundations in store for people to swatch them, because people can make mistakes. Clearly, you know, I didn't do the greatest job here trying to get these as close to this one as possible, but what can you do? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and put these on. To do so, I'm going to use my NYX Professional Face something brush, whatever. It's a face brush. I use it for foundations a lot. I really like this brush. It's one of my favorites for applying my foundation and everything. And then I will also be using a beauty blender, not a real beauty blender. I'm not paying $20 for a sponge, but you know, one of the many sponge knockoffs of the beauty blenders. I'm gonna be using that one here. Yes, it is a little dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that, but it is dirty with Colourpop foundation. So, you know, I ain't that gross. Thank you, mind your business. So I'm going to go ahead and apply on this side with the brush and this side with the beauty blender, and we'll see how it looks. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be using this Becca Backlight Priming Filter as my primer before. I'll put that on both sides before I put the foundations on. I actually really like this. It's an illuminating primer. I am the kind of person, I like to be extra, and I do add a little bit of like liquid highlighter to my foundation when I put it on. So using this kind of, I guess I can kind of skip that step sometimes if I want that kind of like glowing from within look, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and then we'll go ahead and get started with putting on the foundations. All right, nice and primed. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start applying the foundation. So I'm going to do the medium dark on this side with my NYX brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the back of my hand. I just like putting my foundation here first, just because I can kind of control, you know, how much goes on my face and everything like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So one issue I noticed when I was trying this on the first time, when I first got it, I feel like it dries down very quickly, which I know is also a pro or a con, I guess, with their concealer, depending upon how you look at it, that their concealer dries down very fast. And I feel like that's something that happens with the foundation as well, which, you know, I'm not a fan of that because, you know, it's like you really have to kind of get it and spread it as fast as possible. Otherwise it starts to, you know, to dry, and it looks kind of spotty and everything like that. So that's one thing that I have noticed when putting this foundation on, which was not like a great thing for me here. So as you can see already, this side is looking a little orange. It's funny, I feel like I look pale and orange at the same time. Like an old Cheeto or something. Yeah. Okay, and we'll do another layer just so you guys can see the color. Alrighty, so that is the 120, right? Yes, this is the medium dark 120 on my skin. Again, it's this weird, like, I feel washed out but still orange at the same time. It's very strange. The coverage, I think it's like a medium buildable coverage. Again, I feel like it dries down very quickly, which, I know that's something with the Fenty foundation as well, that it dries down very quickly, which is not a plus for me as far as foundations are concerned. And I feel like with it drying down, it almost looks kind of patchy on the skin. It could be the lighting, you know, it could just be me. But that's that one here. So, I mean, it's not, I guess, the worst color match in history, but it's definitely not a foundation I would want to wear, you know, like outside where people could see me and ask me if, you know, I'm getting over being sick or something, which is what I feel like I'm looking like here. So, so that's this one here compared to my regular face. All right, and then I'll go ahead and do the 135. I'm going to use my beauty blender. So I'm just going to use some of my Mario spray. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and ask this. If anybody can tell me how to pronounce this, like his last name here, that'd be beautiful, because I don't want to sound ignorant. I've been saying Badescu, Badascu, Babescu, I don't even know. So if anybody can tell me in the comments how this is supposed to be pronounced, I would really greatly appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we'll go ahead and just wet the sponge. And we're gonna do the 135. Which I'll put down here so it doesn't get mixed up with the one. So I would say, I guess the 135 is a little better match for my skin. At least it looks that way here. Still looks like a tad orangey, I think, but definitely not as bad as it looked when I swatched it. But you know, that's why you're, you know, when it comes to foundation, the hand is not always the best match. Okay. All right, so I will do one more. Again, just to give it, I guess, the full-ish coverage. I usually don't do full coverage foundation because it's hot. Okay. All right, so looking at the two in the mirror, again, this is the 135, and this is the 120. So, yeah, this one definitely has, I mean, it's still neutral. It's definitely not as orange, I think, as when I first put it on. I think it's like, you know, getting closer to my skin tone just from, you know, sitting, chilling, and warming up. But yeah, it's still, I think it's definitely too light. I feel washed out on this side. The 135, again, it doesn't look that bad, but it's still slightly too golden, I think, for me. The undertones are slightly too golden. For me, and again, it just, with the way I feel like it just dries down very quick, which again, not a big fan of that. I feel that when a foundation dries down too quick, then I end up trying to go back and cover up maybe like some patches, and then like it ends up looking very thick, and then whatever, maybe I just need to work on how I apply my foundation. Shut up, let me live my life. So yeah, so overall, I mean, will I pull for one of these foundations? Probably not. I probably will be sticking with my CoverGirl Creamy Beige. In fact, I'll probably go and re-up on that actually. Would I recommend the Colourpop foundation? Maybe. I mean, I think for $12, I think, like, you know, it's affordable, and if you can get your match right, you know, if you are the kind of person that can work well with like a matte foundation that dries down fast, then like go for it. You know, I mean, again, 12 bucks. You can't beat that, especially with some of these like prestige brands out here looking for like 40, 50, 60 bucks for foundation. Sorry, that's not gonna work out for me. I personally probably will not be continuing to use the Colourpop foundation, but you know, if you see this video and you feel like maybe I was completely off and you wanna use it, go for it, man. Feel free. That's why I did the swatches instead of just judging, so you can kind of just see for yourself. So, all right, guys, that is all I have. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment down below. You can find me on Instagram at TheBeautyMoron, all one word. You can also ask me any questions or give me something to review at my email, which is TheBeautyMoron@gmail.com. I will have another video coming up soon in which I talk about, clearly, you know, the elephant in the room, which is the lip ring that I had that I, took out. So I will definitely do a video and talk about, you know, that whole decision-making process soon. But until next time, fantastic to be back. I hope you guys like me being back as much as I like being back. And until we meet again, this is the Beauty Moron. Peace.